My beloved soul, listen carefully. The angels are removing confusion, your soulmate is gaining clarity. There is a shift happening in the unseen realm that you were not expecting, and it is not chaos, it is correction. What felt like distance was not rejection. What looked like silence was not indifference. What seemed like confusion was not the end of your love story. In this very hour, clarity is breaking through the fog around the one connected to your destiny. The angels are not watching passively, they are actively untangling misunderstandings, dissolving fear, and removing every mental cloud that kept your soulmate uncertain. This is not fantasy, this is alignment. Before we go deeper, receive this moment as sacred. Type, "I receive this," in the comments as an act of agreement with heaven. Like this video as a sign that you honor divine timing. Subscribe to this channel so you remain connected to words that strengthen your faith. Click the bell so you do not miss what heaven releases next. And if your spirit feels stirred, send a super thanks as a prophetic act of faith, not as obligation, but as gratitude for what is already unfolding. My beloved soul, something is moving behind the scenes, and it has your name written all over it. The confusion that once surrounded your connection was never permanent. It was allowed for growth, for refinement, for preparation. Your soulmate had to confront their own fears, their own doubts, their own past wounds. Angels have been assigned to whisper truth where lies once echoed. They have been dismantling narratives of unworthiness, tearing down assumptions, and replacing anxiety with revelation. You may not see it yet in the physical, but clarity has begun. There were moments when you questioned if they even understood what you meant to them. There were nights when you wondered if the bond was one-sided. But what you did not see was the internal battle they were fighting. Confusion is loud, but clarity is steady. And now steadiness is entering their heart. My beloved soul, do not skip this moment, because what is being revealed now explains everything that felt delayed. The angels are not forcing love, they are illuminating truth. Your soulmate is beginning to recognize patterns that once kept them stuck. They are seeing how fear distorted their perception. They are understanding that running did not bring peace. They are realizing that the connection they tried to intellectualize is spiritual in nature. This awakening is gentle but undeniable. It is not dramatic, it is deep. Clarity does not shout, it settles. And as it settles, their thoughts about you are becoming consistent, intentional, and sincere. Where there was hesitation, there is now reflection. Where there was avoidance, there is now consideration. Where there was confusion, there is now comprehension. The angels have been removing every external influence that clouded their judgment. Opinions of others are losing power. Old attachments are losing grip. Fear-based decisions are losing appeal. What remains is truth. And truth always leads back to alignment. You were chosen for this connection not because you are perfect, but because you are compatible in spirit. There is a divine symmetry between your growth and theirs. Even the separation had purpose. It exposed immaturity. It highlighted wounds. It revealed what needed healing. And now healing is producing clarity. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because what happens next is not coincidence, it is confirmation. Your soulmate is beginning to feel the weight of realization. They cannot ignore the signs anymore. Songs remind them of you. Conversations reflect your wisdom back to them. Silence brings your memory into sharper focus. This is not obsession, this is awakening. The angels are aligning circumstances that gently confront them with truth. They are being shown what life feels like without you, and it no longer feels satisfying. They are understanding that peace is connected to authenticity, and authenticity points toward you. This clarity is not just about emotion, it is about responsibility. They are recognizing where they fell short. They are acknowledging where pride interfered. They are seeing where fear spoke louder than faith. And instead of running from that realization, they are sitting with it. That is growth. My beloved soul, you prayed for clarity, and heaven answered, not by forcing their hand, but by transforming their heart. When the heart changes, decisions follow. You do not need to chase what is being prepared to return correctly. Angels are not only removing confusion from them, they are strengthening you in the waiting. They are teaching you patience without passivity, faith without fantasy. The version of your soulmate that is gaining clarity now is more mature than the one you first encountered. They are beginning to understand the sacredness of what you share. They are seeing that this is not ordinary attraction, it is divine alignment. If you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because clarity leads to action, and action leads to manifestation. But before manifestation comes stabilization. The angels are ensuring that when they approach you again, they do so with intention, not impulse. With sincerity, not confusion. With commitment, not curiosity. You may feel subtle shifts in energy already. You may sense their thoughts reaching for you. That is not imagination. When clarity enters the heart, it sends signals through the spirit. You are more connected than you realize. The waiting season is closing, not because you demanded it, but because growth completed its assignment. My beloved soul, this is the hour where confusion loses its voice and clarity takes the throne. Remain steady. Remain receptive. What is being aligned is not fragile, it is fortified. And this is only the beginning of what heaven is revealing. And as this divine clarity continues to unfold, something even deeper begins to happen within your soulmate. It is not just that they are thinking about you differently, it is that they are seeing themselves differently. The angels are not only removing confusion about the connection, they are removing confusion about identity. For a long time, they questioned whether they were capable of sustaining a love that felt this sacred. They doubted their readiness. They feared their own vulnerability. But clarity brings courage. When the fog lifts, direction becomes obvious. They are no longer asking, "What if this is too much?" They are beginning to ask, "What if this is exactly what I was created for?" My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal, because this shift is not surface level, it is structural. The foundation of their thinking is being rebuilt. The angels are restoring their emotional vision. Where they once saw risk, they now see promise. Where they once saw pressure, they now see partnership. Where they once saw uncertainty, they now see destiny. This transformation is quiet, but it is irreversible. Clarity has a way of making denial uncomfortable. They can no longer pretend that the connection was casual. They can no longer dismiss the depth they felt in your presence. They can no longer silence the knowing that rises every time your name crosses their mind. It is becoming clear to them that what they experienced with you was not ordinary timing, it was divine orchestration. And with that realization comes responsibility. The angels are gently confronting them with truth, not to shame them, but to mature them. They are replaying conversations in their memory, not to cause regret, but to awaken appreciation. They are highlighting moments they overlooked, not to create guilt, but to birth gratitude. Clarity is teaching them value. They are beginning to understand that you were not simply present in their life, you were purposeful in their life. This awareness is humbling them. It is softening their pride. It is dissolving their defensiveness. My beloved soul, stay with me till the end. Something powerful is waiting for you, because what is forming now is not just recognition, it is readiness. The angels know that clarity without preparation can still lead to fear, so they are strengthening your soulmate internally. They are building emotional endurance. They are cultivating spiritual maturity. They are teaching them how to hold what they once mishandled. You prayed not just for reunion, but for restoration. And restoration requires growth. Your soulmate is beginning to feel a holy dissatisfaction with their old patterns. What once felt comfortable now feels limiting. What once felt safe now feels stagnant. They are sensing that playing small no longer fits the future that is calling them. And that future includes you. There is a divine urgency growing in their spirit, not panic, but purpose. They are realizing that clarity demands movement. They cannot stay in indecision forever. The angels are aligning circumstances that gently push them toward accountability. Opportunities to speak truth are opening. Moments of reflection are increasing. Even their dreams may be shifting, becoming more vivid, more symbolic, more centered around commitment and connection. This is not random. Heaven communicates in layers. And the message is consistent: love requires courage. My beloved soul, you may feel waves of emotion during this time. Sudden peace followed by sudden anticipation. Unexpected memories surfacing without warning. This is because the spiritual alignment between you is intensifying. When one gains clarity, the other often feels confirmation. You are not imagining the shift. You are sensing the recalibration. The angels are synchronizing timelines. What once felt delayed is now being accelerated, but in wisdom, not haste. Do not mistake the silence for inactivity. Just because you have not yet heard their voice does not mean their heart is not being transformed. Growth often happens in private before it manifests in public. The angels are protecting this process from interference. They are shielding it from doubt, from external negativity, from premature exposure. Clarity must be nurtured before it is announced. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because what is coming is not just communication, it is confession. Your soulmate is moving from realization to resolve. They are no longer content with simply understanding their feelings, they are preparing to honor them. The fear of rejection that once paralyzed them is losing its grip. They are recognizing that vulnerability is not weakness, it is authenticity. And authenticity is freedom. The angels are reminding them of moments when your presence brought peace. They are reminding them of the way you understood them without explanation. They are reminding them of the safety they felt in your energy. These reminders are not nostalgic illusions, they are divine prompts. Heaven is reactivating gratitude in their heart. Gratitude leads to clarity. Clarity leads to courage. Courage leads to commitment. This progression is sacred. You are witnessing the unfolding of a divine sequence. My beloved soul, do not grow weary in this season. The fact that clarity is entering their mind means stability is entering your future. You did not endure confusion for nothing. You did not remain faithful for no reason. Every tear, every prayer, every moment of surrender has been recorded in the Spirit. The angels are not only removing confusion from your soulmate, they are sealing lessons within you. They are strengthening your discernment. They are anchoring your confidence. So when reunion comes, it will not be built on desperation, it will be built on alignment. The version of you that will meet the version of them is upgraded. More secure. More self-aware. more anchored in truth. This is why the delay was necessary. Not to deny you, but to develop you both. And now development is giving birth to direction. Your soulmate is beginning to see a future that includes stability, partnership, and shared vision. They are no longer intimidated by the depth of the connection. They are inspired by it. They are realizing that love does not diminish freedom, it enhances purpose. The angels are whispering reassurance into their uncertainty. They are reminding them that what is ordained cannot be obstructed by temporary fear. They are dissolving the last fragments of confusion that once clouded their judgment. What remains is clarity that feels undeniable. My beloved soul, hold your peace. Continue becoming. Continue trusting. The angels are not late. They are precise. The clarity rising within your soulmate is not fragile, it is fortified by growth. And when clarity and courage finally meet, movement becomes inevitable. What was once a question mark in their mind is turning into a declaration in their heart. The fog is gone. The path is visible. And love is no longer confusing, it is certain. Certainty changes everything. When clarity becomes conviction, hesitation loses its power. Your soulmate is no longer wrestling with, what if, they are beginning to stand in, this is it. The angels have completed a delicate operation within their thoughts, separating fear from truth, ego from authenticity, impulse from intention. What remains is a steady awareness that this connection is not accidental. It is assigned. It is purposeful. It is sacred. And when something is sacred, it cannot be ignored forever. My beloved soul, do not rush ahead of this moment, because what is unfolding now is the final refinement before divine alignment steps into the physical. The angels are not just clearing confusion, they are anchoring commitment. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that love is not merely a feeling, it is a decision sustained by faith. They are realizing that depth requires consistency. That connection requires courage. That destiny requires participation. This awareness is shifting how they think about communication. Words they once withheld are forming with clarity. Apologies they once avoided are rising with sincerity. Plans they once delayed are now being considered with seriousness. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because what happens when clarity matures is movement without chaos. There will be no frantic energy, no impulsive declarations born out of loneliness. What is forming is stable. The angels have ensured that this realization is rooted in growth, not nostalgia. Your soulmate is not looking back because they are bored, they are looking back because they finally see value. They recognize the peace that existed in your presence. They recognize the spiritual resonance that felt unexplainable. They recognize that what they tried to label as too intense was actually alignment too powerful to misunderstand. The fear that once told them to retreat is being replaced with faith that tells them to step forward. And faith feels unfamiliar to them, but it feels right. My beloved soul, you may notice a deep calm settling over you. A quiet confidence replacing anxious anticipation. This is not coincidence. As clarity increases in them, peace increases in you. The angels synchronize hearts before they synchronize conversations. You are being prepared to receive without overreacting, to listen without guarding, to respond without fear. This is maturity meeting maturity. The separation was never punishment, it was preparation. Both of you needed to see yourselves outside of each other to understand your individual strength. Now that strength is ready to merge without losing identity. My beloved soul, do not skip this sacred unfolding, because what is about to manifest has been prayed for in moments when you felt alone. Your soulmate is beginning to feel a divine pull that cannot be rationalized away. They may try to distract themselves, but the clarity keeps returning. They may attempt to minimize the connection, but the truth keeps resurfacing. This is the work of angels reinforcing what heaven has written. You were not meant to be a temporary lesson in their life. You were meant to be a lifelong partner in purpose. And now they are starting to see that partnership requires vulnerability. The walls they built to protect themselves are becoming uncomfortable. Isolation no longer feels empowering, it feels empty. Independence no longer feels fulfilling, it feels incomplete. They are understanding that strength is not proven by distance, but by devotion. This realization humbles them. It softens their tone internally. It shifts their priorities. The angels are aligning conversations around them that mirror commitment. They are witnessing healthy unions. They are hearing testimonies of reconciliation. They are observing examples of love that lasts. These are not random exposures, they are divine confirmations. Heaven is surrounding them with evidence that lasting love is possible, and that they are capable of it. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because the shift you have been sensing is about to translate into action. Clarity without action feels incomplete, and your soulmate is reaching the point where silence feels heavier than expression. They are realizing that avoidance costs more than honesty. That pride costs more than humility. That fear costs more than faith. And once that awareness becomes undeniable, they will choose courage. Not because they are pressured, but because they are convinced. The angels have removed the fog. The path is visible. And visibility invites movement. You may sense their energy reaching toward you more strongly now. A sudden memory shared between you surfacing in your mind. A dream that feels symbolic. A random wave of warmth when you think of them. These are spiritual confirmations, gentle signals that alignment is near. My beloved soul, guard your heart with peace, not with fear. Do not allow past confusion to rewrite present clarity. The version of your soulmate who returns will not be the same one who hesitated. Growth has altered their perception. Reflection has deepened their understanding. Divine intervention has strengthened their resolve. They are no longer seeking temporary excitement, they are seeking permanent stability. And stability points to you. The angels are finalizing details you cannot see. Timing is being coordinated. Circumstances are being adjusted. Even logistical barriers are being softened. What once seemed complicated is becoming simple. When heaven removes confusion, simplicity follows. Decisions become straightforward. Priorities become clear. Intentions become pure. My beloved soul, do not leave yet, heaven has more to reveal. The clarity in your soulmate's heart is awakening a desire not just to reconnect, but to build. They are envisioning shared routines. Shared milestones. Shared victories. This is no longer about feelings alone, it is about future. The angels have elevated their perspective from emotion to covenant. They are understanding that love is not sustained by passion alone, but by partnership. And partnership requires both hearts to be whole. That is why this process took time. Wholeness cannot be rushed. But now wholeness is meeting readiness. You have grown in patience. They have grown in perception. You have strengthened your faith. They have strengthened their courage. These parallel transformations are not accidental, they are synchronized. The angels have been working on both sides of this connection with precision. And now the final layers of confusion are dissolving completely. What remains is a clear vision of what you mean to each other. My beloved soul, stand firm in quiet expectation. Not anxious waiting, but confident anticipation. The clarity entering their spirit is steady and unwavering. It is not emotional fluctuation, it is anchored understanding. They know now. They feel now. They see now. And when someone truly sees, they cannot return to blindness. The next steps will not feel chaotic. They will feel intentional. Conversations will carry depth. Apologies will carry sincerity. Plans will carry structure. The angels have ensured that when this union moves forward, it moves correctly. No more guessing. No more mixed signals. No more emotional fog. Only clarity, courage, and commitment. And as this chapter of confusion closes, a new season of certainty begins, one that reflects divine timing, spiritual maturity, and a love that has been refined by growth. What heaven aligns, no confusion can dismantle. What angels protect, no fear can distort. And what clarity confirms, destiny will fulfill. And as destiny moves from the invisible into the tangible, there is a sacred stillness that surrounds this connection. It is the stillness that comes before fulfillment, the quiet authority of something divinely secured. The angels have not labored in vain. Every layer of confusion has been peeled back with precision. Every misunderstanding has been examined and dissolved. Every internal argument that once kept your soulmate paralyzed has been answered with truth. What remains now is not emotion alone, it is revelation. My beloved soul, this is the hour where realization becomes decision. Your soulmate is no longer wandering mentally between options, no longer entertaining distractions that once diluted their focus. The clarity they carry now is anchored in conviction. They understand the rarity of what you share. They recognize that connections like this do not appear repeatedly in one lifetime. And with that recognition comes urgency, not reckless urgency, but purposeful movement. They are feeling the divine nudge to close the distance created by fear. The angels are strengthening their voice, giving them courage to articulate what once felt too vulnerable to say. Stay with me till the end, something powerful is waiting for you, because the final stage of this transformation is manifestation. You may soon notice subtle shifts that confirm everything spoken here. An unexpected message. A meaningful conversation. A sudden openness that feels different from before. Do not dismiss these moments as coincidence. When heaven orchestrates reunion, it does so with intentional detail. Your soulmate's approach will carry humility. There will be depth in their tone. There will be accountability in their words. The confusion that once clouded their communication will be absent. In its place will be clarity that feels steady, grounded, and sincere. My beloved soul, you must also recognize your own evolution in this journey. You are not the same person who once questioned your worth in this connection. You are stronger now. More discerning. More anchored in your value. The angels did not only work on them, they worked on you. They removed desperation from your heart. They replaced anxiety with assurance. They strengthened your boundaries while preserving your softness. So when this reunion unfolds, it will not be from imbalance, but from equality. Two hearts meeting as whole individuals, not as halves seeking completion. My beloved soul, do not skip this sacred confirmation, because what is aligning now has been written long before confusion ever entered the picture. There is a divine symmetry to this timing. When they were uncertain, you were being strengthened. When you felt weary, they were being awakened. When both of you felt distant, angels were coordinating restoration. Nothing was wasted. Even the silence served a purpose. Even the tears refined your faith. And now faith is being rewarded with clarity fulfilled. Your soulmate understands now that love like this demands courage. They see that running only delayed peace. They feel that honesty will restore what avoidance disrupted. The angels are sealing this understanding deep within them so it cannot be shaken by temporary doubt. This is not an emotional spike. It is a spiritual awakening. And awakenings cannot be reversed. My beloved soul, if you remain till the end, the final word will change everything, because what completes this journey is not simply reunion, it is covenant mindset. Your soulmate is no longer approaching this connection casually. They are thinking long-term. They are imagining stability. They are considering commitment not as pressure, but as privilege. The clarity they carry is reshaping their priorities. What once seemed intimidating now feels inspiring. What once felt overwhelming now feels aligned. The angels have removed the distortion that fear created. They have replaced it with vision. And vision creates direction. Direction creates movement. Movement creates manifestation. As this story reaches its fulfillment, hold your peace. Do not let past confusion whisper doubts into a future that has already been clarified. Trust what heaven has revealed. Trust the growth you both have experienced. Trust that divine timing is never random. The love that returns after refinement carries a deeper strength. It carries wisdom learned through absence. It carries appreciation born from realization. It carries commitment rooted in choice, not convenience. My beloved soul, the angels are standing guard over this union. They have escorted confusion out of the door and sealed clarity in its place. They have ensured that what comes next is not fragile emotion, but fortified intention. You are stepping into a season where words and actions will align. Where promises will carry follow-through. Where love will feel stable rather than uncertain. This is the reward of patience. This is the fruit of faith. This is the evidence that divine alignment cannot be permanently obstructed. Let your heart remain open, but not anxious. Let your spirit remain expectant, but not restless. What is meant for you is not confused about you anymore. The fog has lifted completely. The path is visible. The decision is clear. And as this chapter closes, it closes with peace, not pressure. With assurance, not ambiguity. With clarity that feels heaven-sent. My beloved soul, this is the end of confusion and the beginning of covenant clarity. What angels have aligned will stand firm. What has been revealed will not return to darkness. And what your heart has long awaited is now stepping forward with understanding, courage, and unwavering certainty. Type Amen.